my loves, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Mia Sanchez, Mia K Sanchez, and I make technology, college, and lifestyle content. And today I am going to be talking about why I regret getting A's at Cornell University. Some things that I'm going to be touching on in this video today are Cornell's grading basis, as well as my unhealthy relationship to grades and why I do regret getting A's. A year ago, I actually recorded a video. It was going to be titled, How I Got Straight A's My Freshman Year of College. So I literally recorded it. I had the script written out for it. I even edited it. It was ready to go, but something just didn't sit right in my spirit about posting that video. The thing that made me really uncomfortable is if you followed everything that I said in that video, there was still a chance you were not going to get the A's you wanted or the expected outcome that you had desired, and that's because there are so many other external factors that go into your performance specifically at school. So while I can tell you guys, study for 20 hours a week, literally that could look different for everyone. So to try and break down how I got A's and try and have it as some sort of formula or recipe, it just didn't sit right with my spirit. So I did not post that video. I'm super proud of everything that I've been able to achieve, but I just didn't also want to push this narrative that in order to get the things that you wanted, in order to have a great career, amazing opportunities, you needed to get straight A's. So I was just very uncomfy with that entire video, and I just didn't want to push this narrative that you need A's to do well, or you just need A's to be worthy, or you should be aiming for A's. And if you don't get A's, then you're not good enough, you're not this, you're not that. I just didn't want to do that to y'all because I really do love y'all, and the last thing that I want is to make anybody feel worse about themselves. And also just in the past year, specifically with the class that I took last semester, my algorithms class, I talked about it in my last video because it had me down bad. It just really made me realize a lot of things about my relationship to grades, and in the end, when I look back at my freshman year experience, while I was getting A's, the way that I was choosing to live and exist is not anything that I would ever recommend to someone. So to then come on here, record it, and say to try and do the same things that I did just sounds a little bit crazy. I wasn't unhappy freshman year, but I definitely wasn't thriving or happy. I was not taking care of my mental health at all. I had no idea who I was, and I was associating my worth to my grades, which are all things that I will be talking about later in this video. I just want to remind y'all that when I do make videos, this is not meant to be me telling you what to do or telling you how to live your life. This is just my experience, and I'm speaking on that, and if it helps you to learn something about yourself, amazing. If it helps you to realize that this isn't the way that you want to go about things, even better. But the last thing that I want and the thing that I try to avoid is making someone feel like they are doing something wrong or they need to be doing something different. So with that being said, let me just get into the meat and the content of this video. So the first thing that I'm going to be talking about is Cornell University's grading system, because it got me fucked up. Cornell's grading system is on a 4.3 scale, meaning that an A plus is a 4.3, an A is a 4.0, an A minus is a 3.7, a B plus is a 3.3, a B is a 3, a B minus is a 2.7. Cornell College of Engineering freshman first semester average GPA is a 2.7. That is a B minus. That's just a little fact. I actually haven't even fact checked that, but that's the number that's just been spoken about everywhere. So a lot of people say that Cornell deflates grades. I haven't had any experience with this, but what I have experienced and what a lot of people say is that it's just never gonna inflate your grades. That's basically what it is. It's just harder to have grade inflation at Cornell because of the way that the GPA is scaled and also just the way that classes are curved. Very rarely is your grade ever inflated, but there is a lot of curving, which I will talk about next, which is my freshman year, I was in the College of Engineering. I was taking pretty much all general classes, so general chemistry for engineers, calculus for engineers, the introductory computer science level class. So these were all classes with minimum 300 people, and classes are curved. An example of curving. For my general chemistry class, Chemistry 2090, I took that my very first semester at Cornell. The second exam, so we call exams prelims here, the second prelim, the average grade was a 41%. That is not good, that is not cute, that is not sexy, that's not a fresh grade. That is not good. So obviously, if the average is a 41%, let's say most people got below a 60. So I know right now if you're in high school, getting below a 60 is literally a failing grade or a D. So you can't give everybody in the class D's and F's. So what ends up happening is you take this average grade of a 41 and you say, okay, a 41 is actually equal to a B. So if you got a 41 or within one standard deviation of a 41, you'll have a B in the class. If you get above a standard deviation, then you'll probably get an A, and if you get below, you'll get a C. So that's the way that grading works. Off the bat, the average is just literally, I mean, you guys know what an average is. It's the average of everybody in the class. So your grade automatically is not based on how much you know or your skill set or how much you've been able to learn. It's based on how other people perform. And for me, it's just like when your class is based on a curve or a mean, exams and the grade that you get in the class actually don't really have much to do with your intelligence and have more to do with how much you studied, how much you knew before going into this class, especially freshman year, where you went to high school. Like, I took multivariable calculus, and there's actually so many students who had been exposed to that content before we even got to college. So as you can imagine, like, they're like, oh yeah, I've seen this before, it's not that bad. But for someone who only took calculus AB, all of this content was completely new to me. So especially your freshman year, a lot of like grades or averages actually have to do with the amount of access and privilege students have, as opposed to just basic intelligence or work ethic. Now we're just gonna get a little bit more into why I specifically regret getting A's in college. So to start off, I'm a computer science major. I am a senior at Cornell now, so this is my 4th year here. Now that I'm recruiting and now that I have friends who have graduated and who have done their thing, grades do not matter in computer science. And what I mean by that is when you apply for jobs, they don't even ask you for your GPA. They don't ask you for your transcript. They don't ask you for any of that. They do ask for those things for the like freshman and sophomore programs, specifically like Google Step, Facebook University, Microsoft Explorer. They ask for that. But once you're looking for a full-time job, they don't ask for your grades and they don't ask for your transcript. Now, when I say this is not to say that you should like F around and get straight D's and not try in your classes. But what matters more than getting an A in the class is actually understanding the content and being able to apply it. One reason that I do regret getting A's is because I thought that I needed A's to be successful, to have amazing opportunities, when that's actually not the case at all. A student could be getting C's because they may not be trying as much in school, but they're like out here starting their own company or building their own projects or products or learning new languages and like just spending all their time learning things outside of class. The time comes for, let's say, a technical interview or for someone to look at their resume. If GPAs don't matter, then they might actually have a better shot than someone who just got straight A's in college but never did anything else. The point that I'm making there is to focus on actually learning the content. That's reason number one why I'm like, damn, I really didn't need to be going so hard in college, because grades actually don't matter that much. And again, they are not the thing that defines your intelligence or gets you that job. The biggest reason why I regret getting A's in college is because I was associating my worth to my grades. I just really regret the relationship that I had with grades and the relationship that I had with myself that resulted in me getting these A's. So for example, my algorithms class last semester, I really wanted an A. I went into the class at the beginning of the semester saying, I want an A, like, I want to get offered a teaching assistant position for this because I'm sure there's never been a Black woman on the course staff, all that jazz. So I really wanted an A. At some point, my intentions ended up getting morphed, and it was, if I don't get an A, I'm never gonna get a job. If I don't get an A, I'm not smart enough to be in this major. If I don't get an A, I'm not worthy of being in this major, of being in this space. So I started associating my intelligence and my worth to my grades. And it was now, I needed this A. I literally needed this A for my ego and for my confidence because it was so fragile. Like, if I don't get an A, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I might not be able to bounce back from this. And that's honestly the approach that I had with a lot of my classes, where I felt like I needed to be perfect and I needed to get these amazing grades in order to feel worthy of navigating in specific CS spaces. I think that that's honestly like justifiable, because again, as a Black woman and a Latina woman in computer science, most people are telling me I don't belong. They're like, when I got to college, I was seen as someone who just got in because of affirmative action. When I got into Google, people thought I was like a diversity hire, and nobody's actually treating me like I deserve to be in these spaces. So for me, I'm like, if I have a 4.0 GPA, or if I'm getting all A's, or if I'm getting above the mean and I'm doing better than y'all, then you can't tell me that I don't deserve to be here. The point I'm making there is that I deserve to be in these spaces because I have earned my spot there, because I applied, because I interviewed, because I did the work necessary to get there. It's not that once I get there, I then have to prove myself by getting A's or getting this internship or doing this thing. I deserve to be there simply because I am there. And that is not something that I understood, which is why I put so much pressure on myself to perform above the mean, to do so well. And it ended up really, really just like hurting my mental health. And it's taken a lot of time to rebuild my confidence and to just fully believe in myself. And it's even still something that I'm working on right now. It's not to say that I'm fully healed and that I don't still feel like I need to prove myself, but I'm definitely working on it, and I acknowledge that that's some fucking bullshit. I still don't think that when people look at me, they necessarily see someone who is smart or worthy or deserving of these amazing opportunities, but then maybe when they see my transcript, maybe then they'll think that. So that's still something that I'm working on, and it's definitely a result of being in these predominantly white or Asian male spaces, which is tech, which is CS. So your worth is not your grades, your intelligence is not your grades, and I just really want y'all to remember that, because it is not something that a lot of people told me. And again, as a woman, as a Black woman, it's just really hard to navigate, because at the same time, like, if I didn't get these A's, I would feel a lot less confident and comfortable applying for certain opportunities. I mean, y'all have heard the statistic, women need to feel like they're 100% qualified for something before they can apply, and I think men only need to feel either 40 or 60% qualified before they'll apply to something. So again, it's just the need to feel like you need to be perfect in order to be worthy in certain spaces or deserving of being there. I don't regret getting A's. I just regret the mindset that I had when it came to school and my relationship to grades. There's people who just want A's because they want to be able to say that they got an A in the class, and they'll try their hardest and they'll go for it. But if they don't get it, then that's totally fine. And that doesn't mean that you're like an idiot or something. But that's literally what I thought about myself, which is so toxic. It is so toxic. What you do in college, of course it matters, but it is not the thing that's going to change the trajectory or the course of your life. So feel comfortable making mistakes and learning and growing. Most of us are in the age of like 17 to 21 years old. And when you talk to people older than you, they're not like, oh yeah, I had my entire life figured out when I was this age, and this thing that I did in college is why I'm here right now. Like, you'll be fine. College is the time to make mistakes, to learn more about yourself. So don't feel like what you do now is final and it's going to change the rest of your life and you can't learn more or do something differently or just like bounce back. Thank you guys for watching this video. I love y'all so much and I appreciate every one of you. Thank you for supporting me even as I have not been consistently uploading. Yeah, I'm just really trying to heal from everything, and I appreciate you guys so much. And again, if you guys need anything, feel free to reach out. I'm here for y'all. And with that being said, I will see you in my next video. Fuck school. Just kidding.